Governor Charlie Baker has outlined more than $500 million in spending cuts to help close the state's budget shortfall. Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 6. I'm Barry Krieger.
And I'm Laura Hutchinson. It's a story 22 News has been following since Governor Baker took office. The state has a sizable budget gap, and now we know how he plans to fix it. 22
News reporter Tiffany Chan was there when Governor Baker unveiled his plan just a few hours ago, and she joins us now live from Boston.
With less than half the fiscal year left, the state must make up for a $768 million budget shortfall. Governor Charlie Baker sticking to his promise that he won't raise taxes or cut funding to cities and towns to fix the problem. After 3 weeks on the job, Governor Charlie Baker outlined his solution to close the state's $768 million budget gap. He plans to rely on new revenues and make more than $500 million worth of spending cuts.
We inherited a spending problem. Even with all the adjustments that we're making and proposing here today, state spending year over year in fiscal 15 is going to go up.
His proposal will cut spending across state agencies. Transportation funding will take a hit, along with the state's version of Medicaid, Mass Health. Baker wants to look at people's eligibility under Mass Health and says the state will hold back on spending money for services not covered under the federal government. 3 areas will be spared from budget cuts: the Department of Children and Families, homelessness programs, and state funding for cities and towns.
We have held our cities and towns harmless relative to local aid and school aid, and we feel that is the right commitment, and it is the promise that we made.
Some of Baker's proposals will require legislative approval, including the use of capital gains tax revenue to fill the budget gap. That money would otherwise go to the state's rainy day fund. There is no set date on when the legislature would take up Baker's proposal, but I'd imagine it'd be soon because Governor Baker has to file his version of the fiscal 2016 budget by the first week of March. Reporting live from the State House in Boston, Tiffany Chan, 22 News.